let's talk about this. This clip like genuinely restored me to life. I was dead for like approximately 5 minutes, and then I watched this, and it just, it's really hard to emphasize enough how much I appreciate in the modern, milieu of insanity, just someone who knows what the fuck they're talking about opening their mouth in mainstream media to say something that makes sense. Like I just really appreciate it. Okay? Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This clip gave me life.
Understand that the United States plays an important role in the world. I am thrilled that the United States is trying to police the proliferation of nuclear weapons. Imagine what the world would look like if it was otherwise. And
I think it's great that we bombed another country and maybe started a regional or a regional war. It's great. That worked out so well for us last time.
It's right. The United States would still be the only country that has ever bombed another country with nuclear weapons. And let me ask you one question. Why?
Appropriately. Yeah, we appropriately obliterated 2 cities full of civilians. That was an appropriate use of nuclear weapons, as opposed to an inappropriate use of nuclear weapons, which would be, well, where the only 2 instances of it are us obliterating civilians. So,
Did the Iran hostage crisis take place?
So certainly,
I'm asking you why.
Fundamentalist radicals took over the government who hate the West.
Why did they take over the government? Why?
Because they're religious jihadis who want to eliminate Western society.
They hate our way of life.
Again, just why? Do you know why? Do you know why? Literally just someone calmly being like, yeah, no, it's not they hate us because they hate us. Why do they hate us? Why do they hate our interventions in the region? Have you ever stopped to ask why, instead of just accepting at face value that the people of Iran are really angry at us? Like, if you just accept at face value that they've always been angry at us, then you can arrive at the conclusion this guy is trying to spread, which is that, well, they're just inherently, religious fundamentalists who want to wage a holy war against the West, right? If you just think like, oh, they're just inherently angry, like that's the conclusion you can come to. But that's not how reality works, right? There's usually a reason people feel the way they feel.
They hate our way of life.
Or they overthrew the Shah of Iran, who we imposed on Iran because the Dulles brothers, one at the CIA and one at the State Department, decided that the oil beneath the soil of Iran belonged to BP and belonged to us. And when Mossadegh, who was the leader of Iran, the democratically elected leader of Iran, said that we would like to audit BP because we want to know if you are cheating us or paying the people of Iran based on the oil under their soil. And they said, you may not audit us. And then we overthrew him and he wound up dying in prison because we decided that we, in our arrogance as a country, got to own their oil. And wait a minute, no, one moment. And so the hatred of the United States had to do with the hatred of the Shah, who brutally repressed the people of Iran for 26 years until he was overthrown within Iran because he was not their natural king. They didn't want a king any more than we wanted a king. The bottom line is the arrogance of the United States' foreign policy. We act as if people act in a vacuum, and that nothing we do has ever led to the hatred of us in other countries. And I'm not saying that hostages should be taken, but you just said because they hate our freedoms. Well, that's BS.
No, they hate the Western world. I want to answer
let me just... No. They just hate the Western world. They just hate it. Ignore the fact that prior to the Shah that we propped up, they were an enlightened democratic country. Also, not for nothing, I'm just going to throw this up on screen because I think it's somewhat relevant here in Politico. Considering that Donald Trump has been, posting about regime change in Iran, I really, really hope that we don't go in this direction. Like, oh, well, it didn't work with the last Shah. Let's take his son and make him a new Shah. Like, genuinely, that is the kind of plan that the Trump administration would come up with. And that's why I'm worried about it. You know, we'll see. I don't think that Trump is particularly hungry to like send troops into Iran, but if his advisors manage to convince his soup brain that it would be a good idea, like the pieces have lined up to do a Shah 2 Electric Boogaloo. I really feel like we're going back in time. Yeah, it really does. You know, we're doing the time warp again. It's the second time in the time warp. But good on Joy. Joy for actually, speaking truth in a relatively thorny situation, because damn, do I hate the rhetoric of they hate us because they hate us. It's like it's like looking at like the court of like the King of England during the Revolutionary War, and they're just like, why do the Americans hate us? And it's just like, what? Well, of course, sire, they hate us because of our royal magnificence. They hate us because of our subjects' happiness and freedoms. Like, no, the Americans didn't hate the redcoats because of the British freedom. That like, no. To put it in an American context, we were upset about the British boots on our necks. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard to understand, but I feel like there's a not insignificant number of Americans who go like, well, the Shah, like the Shah, that's, a scary foreign word. So that's something, whatever. We supported the Shah. That's like that's like someone being like, we supported the King of England in his colonialism.
They don't risk plans. They just look for more ketchup.
They really, really do, Exendo. Thank you for the $20 super chat. I appreciate you supporting the stream very, very much. And folks, that segment was really short. And fingers crossed that we don't wake up in a day or two to troops being sent to Iran. Haha.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube and swishy streams. All that content is bursting the scenes. Politics, gaming, plenty more. Your sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord.